So here I am in Welsh Frankton Church, which after, I think it's 15 weeks, is now open for acts of worship. I have a congregation and they're wonderful, and it's fantastic to actually be here after this long wait. I'm going to read a portion of today's Gospel from Matthew chapter 11, verse 16. Jesus says, "To what can I compare this generation? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling out to others. We played the pipe for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge for you, and you did not weep." Jesus here, of course, is referring to himself and John the Baptist and their preaching and how it was or wasn't received. John the Baptist, of course, came with some very uncomfortable words, truth which really should have cut to the heart of the people. But by and large, the people did not want to know. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't respond to it. And then Jesus came with words of beauty, words of joy, words about freedom and love. But once again, people didn't want to know. They couldn't hear it. They didn't respond. Jesus' words remind me that sometimes in life we get to a place where we find it's not easy to dance, to laugh, to smile. We find it's not easy to weep either. I think we can sometimes become so preoccupied with what's going on in our own world, in our lives, and in the lives of those so close to us, that we haven't got any emotional energy left to join in with others. And sometimes, I suppose, you could just say, well, it's selfishness. Some people just want their lives to be all about them, and that's it. But for many people, they don't want to be like that. They've not chosen it, but their lives have somehow become so complicated and so stressful that they feel that their own plate is so full that they just haven't got room. They've not got the time, they've not got the emotional energy to engage with those outside, themselves and their family, their immediate loved ones. And so we become disconnected with the world. We can't respond to either the joys outside ourselves or the pain or the sorrows. So what is the answer to this? Well, I expect the answer might be quite complicated, but one little part is very simple. People need a blooming good holiday. And I mean that in the old sense of the word, a holy day. A day that we actually can step aside from the cares and the tasks of our own lives and join in with others to thank God for his good gifts, to notice and reconnect with the world and those around us as we reconnect with God. Because a holy day, of course, is a day given to celebrate God's holiness, God's goodness. And that's what the Sabbath was about, right at the beginning of the Bible. Every seventh day should be a day that we actually just get away from all the cares and the worries of our daily lives. It's a gift. Sometimes the church has made it seem like thou shalt not do anything enjoyable, or, it's supposed to be a gift, a time for us to be absolutely reinvigorated, brought to life again as we reconnect with God and as we reconnect with the world. And of course, it's always been through church history that the church has kind of had throughout the year these beacons of light these feast days and festivals. And some of them are quite long, the 12 days of Christmas, where it wasn't long before people could see the next one would come up, where actually they could leave behind their troubles, come together and celebrate, laugh, sing, dance, go to church together, worship together. And I think this is still true in many places in the world. But interestingly, I think it might be true more in the places which are poorer than we are. Perhaps the undeveloped world still. Actually, somehow they're better at leaving behind their less complicated lives, maybe, and just coming and rejoicing, reconnecting with each other, feeling each other's pain and feeling each other's joy, weeping and dancing. In the developed world, we've had a lot of pressure for hundreds of years, I guess now, in everybody wanting to have a better standard of living, be a little bit more affluent and a bit more financially successful. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's often those pressures that are the pressures that we end up feeling. And we find it harder to just step away. A friend of mine, a holy man, once said to me, as we draw near to God, we find two things happen. We laugh more and we weep more. And so as we have holy days, it's not just about having a good rest that you deserve. It's not just about doing wonderful things in the sun or wherever you are. And that's wonderful. But it's also about being in God's presence. Reconnecting with God means also reconnecting with the world around us. Its joys, its pains, its wonders. Amen.